Well, well, if it isn't the slaves and the traitor. I don't remember giving you permission to enter the palace.
So it's true. You really are the one behind all this, Kelzelik.
I don't remember giving you permission to speak either. Know your place, slave!
Now we see his true colors.
Yeah, a despicable excuse for a human being. Though really, I guess that makes him pretty ordinary, huh?
Kelzelik, you were Lord Dohalim's most trusted advisor. His closest ally. Why would you betray him?
Don't be a fool! I didn't serve him because I wanted to. I expect a mere slave would know, but there are many powerful contenders for the position of Lord. A contest of strength determines the one who will be Lord and undisputed ruler of a realm. There is no choice in the selection. If my master had any ambitions of becoming the Sovereign, I would have gladly served him.
But he had no intention of fighting for the crown.
Indeed. Can you slaves even imagine how that looked to the rest of us? Enduring the whims of an ambitionless lord, all we could do was wait for the end as we suffered through our humiliation.
You want suffering? Try being Danon for a day.
So you plotted against Lord Dohalim in secret. And when my brother found out...
And I would do it all again if it meant returning Menancia to its rightful state! A realm where Danons are slaves and Renans their masters. It's the natural order.
Enough! Who are you to decide what is natural or rightful, traitor? Miguel, my brother. He dreamed of building a world free of suffering. He gave his life for that dream. And all you've managed to build is a lake of death! You killed my brother. And now you'll die for it! My brother's dead because of you!
Why should I concern myself with the passing of one pathetic slave?
Have you no shame?
Careful! He has some kind of camouflage!
You're mine! It's over!
Go for the weak point!
What's this?
Swallow blade!
Lost my focus!
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast!
I'm not done! Ignite!
Whirlwind Smash!
Take this!
This one's mine!
You're mine! It's over!
A freezing storm! Here's the raging corridor! Searing flame! In here!
It's over!
Smash you! What's this?
Freezing storm!
It vanished again?
Listen carefully and keep your eyes peeled.
We got it!
Swallow blade! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Take this! You're finished! Here I come!
By the power of
Sword!
Raging
Here I come!
I never fit!
It's over!
In here!
I'll finish you here now!
Primed and ready!
You're mine! You picked the wrong fight! Here I come!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
Far enough!
Ignite!
Mega Ray!
I'm almost impressed.
My brain's coming from you.
I said almost, don't get carried away.
Rising Wyvern! Swallow Blade! Here I come!
Mega Ray!
Away!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
You filthy slaves are despicable!
Your dreams of attaining lordship are no more. Give up, Kelzelik.
Attaining lordship! Ridiculous! Only those who possess a master core can become a lord. What, did you think just anyone could do it?
But then, what were you trying to accomplish with this? Didn't you betray your lord?
Yes, that's true. However, there are other lords.
Other lords? So you mean...
At last, the truth is revealed.
Dohalim, where have you been this whole time?
Cleaning up. Kelzelik, you've made your last of these.
The fruit of Helgen?
It can't be. You found my production facility?
Correct. And I tore it down. But something still troubles me. It's clear that this is no ordinary fruit. Nor was the equipment used to grow it. You couldn't have done all this without outside assistance. Indeed. Something like this must have come from another realm. Mahag Saar, perhaps?
You actually expect me to talk now? At this point, the contest for the crown will be over soon enough, and you will finally receive the punishment you deserve for your weakness.
I've already received my punishment. May this be my final act as the Lord of Elder Menancia. Go to Mahag Saar, Ganath Haros, wherever you think you'll find a suitable lord.
Are you alright with this? He killed your brother after all.
He did. But then I thought, he's nothing more than one common, ordinary Renan. He's not worthy of my time or my anger, right?
So after everything, was the dream of coexisting just a dream? What is that?
Those are the cheers of the brave Danans who overpowered Kelzelik's forces.
Wait, they challenged the Renans?
Indeed. A militia made up of Danan guardsmen, Renan supporters, and of course, the Gold Dust Cats.
Do we have you to thank for bringing them all together?
Regardless of what your original motivations were, your dream of coexistence saved countless lives. And now, those people out there are fighting to keep that dream alive. That's something real.
Be that as it may, they do so now by their own hands. These people no longer need any lord.
Where are you going?
To put an end to the crown contest. So long as its madness persists, peace will remain ever out of reach. I cannot allow it to continue.
The crown contest impacts far more than just the Danans. You're choosing to fight Lenegis and the entire Empire.
I am well aware. However, if I wish to keep this dream from dying, then I have little choice in the matter. Besides, it's the least I can do.
So you're gonna go out there and make that dream real on your own?
You may be decided on your path, but that doesn't make it any less difficult.
Why not walk that road with us?
Pardon?
You heard me. We're fighting to liberate the Danans. You're fighting for the people of this realm. I'd say we're on the same path, really. It would only make sense for us to walk it together.
Danan dissidents, side by side with a Renan lord? Not the least intriguing invitation I've received. An invitation which would only be proper courtesy for me to accept.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, where'd Kisara go? I don't see her anywhere.
Maybe she just needed some time alone. A lot's happened.
That makes sense. She did just lose her brother after all.
We ought to keep moving as well. So long as there are lords who draw breath, we have a mission to complete. Kisara's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself. We should hurry on ahead to our next destination.
I guess you're right. And it is a lot safer here than it was. What do you think, Dohalim?
I am not sure I have the right to say anything as far as Kisara is concerned.
Fair enough. Well, I, for one, would like to say goodbye if we get a chance. Let's keep an eye out for her as we leave.
What's Kisara going to do now?
I'm sure it's complicated for her. There.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
You all arrived here from Cyslodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Dahnans and Renans have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Lagiel?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Dahnan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elde Menancia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan Lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I'm only getting fired up! Damn, boy!
Can't get out of this!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
What's with the...
I have a bad feeling about this.
No further! First strike! We are freaking invincible!
Alvin and the others truly are strong!
No further! Here I come! Hit!
Spread! I poured it! Woo! amazing! I think we're about to be real lucky. Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo. Maybe something's going on in the forest.
No choice. Come and face me.
We are freaking invincible!
Alvin and the others truly are strong.
What about me?
If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover.
You're finished.
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
There's something in the water. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Ha! Looks like I lost it. All right. She's got a good size to her, all told.
Hopefully it tastes better than it looks.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really does.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't...
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed. Especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
Interesting. All we ever got was a tattered blanket, a rock-hard bed, and well past its prime food.
What are you talking about?
What we got for our slave labor back in Calaglia. As you can tell, it wasn't much at all. Here, the Danans get the same basic amenities, but the quality is way better than anything we were given. Hell, apparently they even get time off to do what they want. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure how to take all this in.
Could it be that things were simply harsher in Calaglia compared to everywhere else?
It was the same in Cyslodia, too. Our buildings and clothing were equipped to handle the cold, but that was the only difference. Working the floodlights was a form of punishment, so we didn't really get rewarded for anything that we did.
Yeah, you could be assigned to fix food or make daily necessities too, but when all was said and done, most of that stuff went to the Renans. There wasn't much in the way of compensation for any of that, so I'd say that Cyslodia and Calaglia were both pretty awful.
And Elda Menancia really is unusual.
To say the least. Hell, I might even go so far as to call it crazy. But the fact remains, Dahnans aren't free here.
Yeah, no matter how happy they look, they're still slaves.
I don't even know what to think right now. This is all way too much to deal with. It's giving me a headache.
So, this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just... You know, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but it doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere.
Can you even see out of that thing? Like, at all?
Of course I can. How else do you think I managed to avoid tripping everywhere I go?
What is that thing anyway? It doesn't look like anything Dan and I've ever seen.
Beats me. I don't remember anything about my past. When I came to, I was already wearing it. If I could get it off, I would. Damn thing makes it hard to eat, and I can't scratch my face when it itches. It's the worst.
Honestly, I'm just impressed you've managed to survive this long looking like that. I'm sure you attract attention wherever you go.
Most of the other Dahnans don't pay it any mind. It's in everyone's best interest to just keep their heads down, focus on their work, and pretend they don't notice.
What about the Renan soldiers? Didn't they notice?
The guards? They're more the kill first, ask questions later type. Be in the wrong place or step out of line and you're dead. Mask or no mask. That said, as long as you keep your head down and don't cause trouble, they mostly ignore you. Honestly, sometimes they don't look all that keen to stir up trouble themselves. A friend of mine said it's because if they kill us without a good reason, it could delay the work and put them behind schedule. At that point, it'd be their necks on the line. You should know more about all that than me, though, right?
I don't serve any of the lords. But I see what you mean. After 3 centuries of Renan rule without much upheaval, it's possible the soldiers might be losing their edge. All this trouble we've caused might be the first excitement they've had in a while.
Well, I don't plan on getting killed for their amusement. Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as Lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. We'd best get ready for tomorrow. Shall we get moving?